Graduates, please turn and face the front. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Spring Convocation 2010. Would you please join our vocalist, Courtney Willock, in the singing of O Canada, and please then remain standing for the invocation.
Good afternoon, one and all. I invite you to join me in prayer as we acknowledge our Creator, as we understand Him in the Great Spirit, as we understand Him each in our own way. O Creator, Mother Earth, grandfathers, grandmothers, spiritual helpers, especially loved ones in the spirit world, we thank you for all the beautiful gifts that you've given to us today, especially life and light and water, food, air, all the sacred teachings, sacred medicines. We thank you for our families, especially our children, our grandchildren, our brothers, our sisters, all our relations. We thank you for all the material gifts that you have given to us so that we may enjoy life. We ask you today, O Creator, to bless, to heal, and to guide our graduates and their families and all members who are here today. We ask for healing for those who are unable to be with us, especially the sick and the dying, and those we know that need prayers. We thank you for allowing us to spend a few moments with you, O Creator. In your mercy and goodness, we ask that you send in only good spirits to guide us this afternoon and to guide the graduates in their new way of life, and also to continue the success of the University of Saskatchewan. And we ask you again, O Creator, to bless our families and our children and all of us that are present here. Lastly, we ask your forgiveness for our character defects and our shortcomings. And we know you will forgive us if we rightly relate ourselves to you. Again, we thank you, Creator. Thank you, Mother Earth. Thank you, grandfathers. Thank you, grandmothers. Thank you, spirit helpers. And thank you, loved ones in the spirit world. Thank you.
Would you please be seated? Again, graduands and distinguished guests, welcome. My name is Lee Pennock. I'm the University Secretary, and I have the honor of introducing to you the members of the colorful platform party that you see before you. So beginning in the front row, at my far left and your right, Peter Stoichev, Vice Dean of the College of Arts and Science. Joanne Dillon, Dean of the College of Arts and Science. Dirk de Boer, Vice Dean of the College of Arts and Science. Daryl Musso, Associate Dean, College of Graduate Studies and Research. George Smith, President of St. Thomas More College. Bipin Sawhney, recipient this morning of the earned Doctor of Science degree. Brett Fairbairn, Provost and Vice President Academic. Peter McKinnon, our President. Vera Pezer, our Chancellor. Margaret Weirs, recipient this afternoon of the Honorary Doctor of Letters degree. Heather Magatu, Vice President, University Advancement. Elder Walter Linklater. Cam Broughton, Member of the Legislative Assembly for Saskatoon-Massey Place. Chris Stoychev, President of the University of Saskatchewan Students' Union. Marianne Schneider, President of the Alumni Association. Russ Eisinger, Registrar and Director of Academic Services and Financial Assistance. And in the second row, Carl Still, Dean of St. Thomas More College. And the following members of the University of Saskatchewan Senate: Shirley Haynes, Leanne Abel, William Gulka, Eileen Hartman, Jackie Hugebert, William Johnson, Anne March, Johnny Alphonse Walker, Diane Boyko, Faye Puckett, Judy Bazowetsky, Laurel Krause, and Helga Verlainer. And behind them, and I would ask them to stand, are members of the faculty of the University of Saskatchewan. Would you please join me in expressing to all these faculty, administrators, and members of our governing bodies our thanks for the work they've done by supporting, teaching, and encouraging our graduates.
Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the Senate, I present to you Margaret Weirs. A lifelong pioneer and champion for many important causes, it is clear that Margaret's humble prairie upbringing left a distinct imprint on her values and perspectives. Graduating with a BA in English at only 20 years of age, Margaret has gone on to become one of our college's most distinguished alumni. To help recognize the College of Arts and Sciences centennial year in 2009, we unveiled a list of our 100 most distinguished alumni from the past century. Of course, Margaret Weirs was included on this list, and we were honored to have her in attendance for our Alumni of Influence induction ceremony last October. And today, I'm delighted once again to have the opportunity to present Margaret with this similarly well-deserved honor from the University of Saskatchewan. Born on a farm in rural Saskatchewan in 1928, Margaret attended the University of Saskatchewan and soon thereafter embarked on what would become a highly distinguished career in journalism. She got her start at the Regina Leader-Post and worked as a reporter in that city until accepting a position with the Canadian Department of External Affairs in 1955. During her time with External Affairs, Margaret served in New York as a vice consul to the Canadian Consulate General and as press officer for the Canadian delegation to the United Nations General Assembly. At a time when very few women were granted opportunities to serve in such positions, it is doubly remarkable that Margaret accomplished all of this before her 30th birthday. In 1957, Margaret married Robert Weirs, also a former student at the University of Saskatchewan. It was clear from the beginning of their relationship that Margaret and Robert were kindred soulmates who shared many similar values and interests. Soon after their marriage, Margaret left the Department of External Affairs and accompanied her husband on a 15-month foreign aid mission assignment to Ghana. While Robert taught business administration and helped establish a school of business at the University of Accra, Margaret worked as a freelance writer for radio and television. They lived in Ghana, Edmonton, and Toronto, until Robert passed away in 2002. Margaret's journalism career truly began to blossom after joining the Toronto Star in 1963. During almost 30 years at this newspaper, she worked her way up from a reporter to a valued member of the editorial board. Guided by her strong moral convictions, Margaret became a renowned writer who wrote fearlessly about various subjects, ranging from health, politics, and education to human rights, women's rights, and international affairs. Margaret's pointed editorial criticisms of perceived social injustices led to her becoming a highly respected figure of the feminist movement, both in Toronto and throughout Canada. She wrote often about issues such as pay equity, childcare, and other government policies that were restrictive towards women. A winner of numerous journalism awards, one of her most noteworthy honors came in 1979. This was the year she was singled out by the American Association on Mental Deficiency, becoming the first journalist to receive a special award for, and I quote, outstanding socially responsible journalism. Since leaving the Toronto Star in 1991, Margaret has continued to be deeply involved in the feminist movement and is well known throughout the country as a champion for human rights. In 1995, Margaret published a book, Envoys Extraordinary, Women of the Canadian Foreign Service. This book gained considerable acclaim and is still highly respected and referenced by many scholars. She is also a strong supporter of the arts and has been a member of the Toronto Heliconian Club for nearly 30 years. The Heliconian mission is to create an environment of mutual support, communication, and engagement for women in the arts professions and those with a long-term interest in and support for the arts. Today, she is president of the organization's Heliconian Hall Foundation. Margaret's outstanding work and widespread success throughout a distinguished career of nearly 50 years has served as an inspiration to many, both men and women, and young and old. In her travels throughout Canada and the world, she has always displayed an unwavering pride in her prairie roots and has consistently represented Saskatchewan and our university with remarkable distinction. Eminent Chancellor, I present to you Margaret Weirs and ask that you confer on her the degree of Doctor of Letters, honoris causa.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the legislature of the province, and with the consent of the Senate of this university, I admit you to the degree of Doctor of Letters, honoris causa, and invest you with all the powers, rights, and privileges pertaining thereto.
Madam Chancellor, Mr. President, distinguished guests, members of the graduating class, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for the great honor you have done me today. I accept, not only for myself, but also for the craft of journalism, whose practitioners are too often described as ink-stained wretches scrabbling for scandal, than as public-spirited pursuers of truth. Thank you also for the privilege of addressing the graduating class and their parents and friends here to celebrate this momentous event. I am not the important person here today, despite all the things you heard Dean Dillon say. You members of the graduating class are the important ones. The degree bestowed on me was a gift. You have earned your degree with 3 or 4 years of work and study. It is a significant achievement, and I congratulate you all. In the days ahead, you may be asked, what's the use of an arts degree? Back in the last millennium, it happened to me when I was first interviewed by the crusty managing editor of a daily newspaper. I won't mention his name. All managing editors are crusty. It's in the job description. I won't mention he wasn't the least impressed with my newly minted BA. All he wanted to know was what experience I had. Work on the sheaf didn't count. So I joined the staff of a small weekly newspaper where I was the lone reporter, wrote a column and my first editorial, and learned all about proofreading, copy editing, layout, advertising, printing, and circulation, because everyone on that small staff doubled in brass. 2 years later, the managing editor of the Daily called and offered me a job on the women's pages, which was where the ghetto where female journalists were then assigned. Nevertheless, what I found in more than 40 years as a journalist was that my liberal arts education was invaluable. It gave me the academic training that enabled me to research any subject and to tackle any assignment that came my way. In politics, social policy, the law, the status of women, human rights, international affairs, the arts. But don't take my word for it. The late Philippe Casgrain, a distinguished Quebec lawyer, believed that a background in the liberal arts, history, politics, and literature was indispensable to the practice of law. A chartered accountant in the higher echelons of the Ontario Public Service often said he drew on what he had learned while obtaining his BA to mentor and supervise the many people on the staff of his department. It's true that you can't leave here today and start practicing law or medicine, accounting or nursing, pharmacy or dentistry. Yet your arts degree is the stepping stone and may be a prerequisite to those professions if they interest you and you pursue them. As Hilda Neatby wrote in 1953 in her seminal book on education, So Little for the Mind, when the graduate enters on a career in business or in engineering or in medicine, his academic standing is regarded as highly important, for it has been found to be a good indication of his intelligence and of his industry. Even in the very practical matter of making money, academic standing has been found to correlate with success far more closely than do participation in social activity and other such achievements. Last October, at an alumni luncheon in this very building, President McKinnon spoke of visiting high schools in Saskatchewan and being told by many students that they didn't know what they wanted to do. He responded that they should go to university and get an arts degree, which would expose them to a wide range of culture and experience. That's what university is for, he said. The value of an arts degree isn't just, or even primarily, to help you earn a living. It enriches your life. The study of literature, art and music, philosophy, politics, economics, history, languages, the natural sciences can give you an appreciation of the culture of civilization, the knowledge to make judgments about the conduct of public affairs and to participate in them, and the ability to pass on to your children a love of learning for its own sake. In his book, and madly teach. Mortimer Smith wrote, "The individual who is best prepared for any kind of occupation is one whose intelligence has been so well trained that he is able to adapt himself to any situation, and whose point of view has been so humanized by his education that he will be a good person in any job or calling, and these qualities are the result only of a liberalizing education." J.J. Brown, in an article in Canadian Business in 1951, put it more succinctly: "The idea behind education is not to make money, but to produce a trained mind." In the 103 years of its existence, the University of Saskatchewan has produced and nurtured a great many trained minds. For evidence, look at the Spring 2007 edition of the Green and White. Among the 100 alumni of influence listed there are 2 Nobel Prize winners, 1 Prime Minister, 72 Rhodes Scholars, 4 Supreme Court judges, 12 Companions of the Order of Canada, 4 Premiers of Saskatchewan, 13 Olympic medalists, 48 recipients of the Order of Saskatchewan, 2 winners of Governor General's Awards, an Oscar winner, and a winner of the Lasker Prize. All these men and women have brought distinction to themselves, their university, their community, and their country by focusing their trained minds on their chosen disciplines: the law, public service, education, research, medicine, literature, sports, the lively and performing arts, business and economic development. Trained minds are still required in all these fields. At the same time, there are new fields to conquer and new challenges to meet. The very future of our planet and of those who dwell on it depends on fending off the threat to our environment posed by climate change and global warming. Despite 2 devastating world wars, human beings have not yet learned how to live together in peace and understanding. In the ever-shrinking global village our world has become, it seems vital to try to close the gap between the poverty of the third world and the affluence of the first. Nearer home, how do we meet the needs and aspirations of the native peoples of our land so that they can contribute fully to Canadian life while retaining their ancestral culture? And if we cannot reduce our dependency on fossil fuel or find alternatives, we must develop ways of extracting oil from the sands and the oceans without wreaking havoc on the natural world. One challenge is of particular concern to me. The global village of which Marshall McLuhan spoke has become smaller as a result of the Internet and the worldwide instant communication it has made possible. Gone are the days when a journalist hauled a so-called portable typewriter on a traveling assignment, telephoned the story to the rewrite desk, or searched late at night for the nearest telegraph office. Now, all the journalist needs is a laptop computer and a place to connect it. Today, if a letter to the editor isn't sent by email, good luck getting it published. The World Wide Web is a fantastic research tool, not just in the newsroom, but also in the halls of academe. Never has the dissemination of information been so easy and so widespread. Yet the Internet and all its permutations make it just as easy to spread misinformation. Anyone who knows how to use a computer can and does send a message, often anonymously, to the far corners of the earth. If, in addition to anonymity, no sources are cited, how can anyone tell if the information in the message is true or false, accurate or misleading? To use an apt Saskatchewan metaphor, to separate the wheat from the chaff in cyberspace takes a trained and skeptical mind. Everyone knows that the Internet is being used for criminal purposes, fraud, child pornography, stalking, on an international scale. Can our trained legal minds find ways to prevent this without infringing on the right of free speech enshrined in the Charter of Rights and Freedoms? A judge may impose a publication ban on the news media to prevent reporting the proceedings of a criminal trial. Yet a judge cannot prevent the bloggers, the Twitterers, and the tweeters from circulating gossip, rumor, and speculation about the trial. In situations such as this, how does society reconcile the right of an accused to a fair trial with the public's right to know and with freedom of speech and freedom of the press? Your arts degree is the foundation, and the courses you took are the building blocks with which to erect the edifice of your life. I wish you much joy and success in its construction, and once again, congratulations.
Thank you. Eminent Chancellor, I wish to present Vipin Sawhney as a candidate for the earned Doctor of Science degree. Thanks, Vipin. Professor Vipin Sawhney has earned a national and international reputation for his outstanding research in the area of plant development. He has published over 100 papers in refereed journals, co-edited a book, and written over 20 chapters and reviews. The impact of his work is evidenced by the more than 50 invitations he has received to present symposia talks and seminars around the world. Professor Sawhney has made major contributions in both basic and applied science. His fundamental research on plant reproduction, particularly pollen development and male sterility in plants, is recognized internationally. His group has demonstrated the importance of the tapetum, hormones, and environmental factors for pollen development. Most recently, Professor Sawhney has applied a battery of modern proteomics technologies to determine the key proteins involved in pollen and tapetum development. This cutting-edge research has yielded very important information regarding several proteins and the functions of these proteins during pollen development. Professor Sawhney's research also has important applications in the area of hybrid seed production. Hybrids are important to agriculture because they show increased vigor and have a higher yield. Professor Sawhney has developed a male sterile mutant in tomato, which is attracting considerable attention internationally for hybrid seed production, and has been licensed to a seed company in Italy and transferred to agricultural universities in China, Mongolia, as well as in India. In addition to being a highly respected and successful scientist, Professor Sawhney has won awards for his teaching prowess, including the College of Arts and Sciences Teaching Excellence Award and the University of Saskatchewan Master Teacher Award. He is known for his enthusiasm for plant biology and his compassion for his students, both undergraduate and graduate. He is truly a gifted teacher. Literally thousands of young university students have been turned on to plants by Professor Sawhney. Professor Sawhney is also a talented administrator. He directed the affairs of the Department of Biology as head, was appointed Rawson Professor for Distinguished Service, served as Vice President and President of the Canadian Botanical Association, and President of the International Association of Sexual Plant Reproduction. His contribution to the Canadian Botanical Association were recognized with the Mary Elliott Service Award and recently by the association's most prestigious award, the Lawson Medal, for the excellence of his lifetime contribution to Canadian botany. Despite his success as a research scientist, teacher, and administrator, Professor Sawhney remains a humble individual and a fine human being. Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the faculty of the College of Graduate Studies and Research, I present to you Vipin Sawhney, and ask that you confer on him the degree of earned Doctor of Science.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the legislature of the province and with the consent of the council of this university, I admit you to the degree of Doctor of Science and invest you with all the powers, rights, and privileges pertaining thereto.
Eminent Chancellor, Elder Linklater, MLA Broughton, Doctor of Letters Margaret Weers, Doctor of Sciences Vipin Sawhney, guests, members of the graduating class, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Spring Convocation 2010. This is our university's most important celebration, for it is here that we come together and recognize in a very public way the achievements of our graduates and the contributions to their success of their families and friends. The day also marks the admission of our students to the University of Saskatchewan family of graduates worldwide. And I can say to you that their record of achievement is an impressive one, and I'm confident that you will uphold and enhance that record in the years to come. I would like to extend a very warm welcome to the families of the graduates that are assembled today. We're delighted to have you with us. You have shared the joys and the hardships of your graduate in his or her journey leading to the success that we mark today. We share your pride, and we thank you very much for being here. I hope that as you receive your degrees today, you are reminded that you are not simply newly hooded holders of bachelor's, master's, or doctoral degrees. I hope that you are reminded that your degrees mark your belonging to an intellectual tradition that has its roots in the timeless values of the Academy. In their reflections on the role of universities in the 21st century, an international body of prominent leaders identified those values in these words: in a society of shifting goals and uncertain values, the university must stand for something more than accurate data and reliable information, more even than useful knowledge and dependable standards. The university is the custodian, not only of knowledge, but also of the values on which that knowledge depends, not only of professional skills, but of the ethical obligations that underlie those professional skills, not only of scholarly inquiry, disciplined learning, and broad understanding, but also of the means that make inquiry, learning, and understanding possible. In its institutional life and its professional activities, the university must reaffirm that integrity is the requirement, excellence the standard, rationality the means, community the context, civility the attitude, openness the relationship, and responsibility the obligation upon which its own existence and knowledge itself depend. Excellence, rationality, community, civility, openness, and responsibility, strong values for universities, strong values for our graduates. Established in 1908, the College of Arts and Science is the oldest college at the University of Saskatchewan. Its enrollment has grown from the 70 students who first attended classes in the Drinkle Building in downtown Saskatoon in 1909 to about 8,000 today. With nearly 40% of the total student population at the U of S, Arts and Science is the largest and most diverse college on campus, offering programs in the fine arts, humanities, social sciences, and natural sciences. And I'm going to provide an echo of the words of our honorary degree recipient this afternoon when I say to you that I want to congratulate you, not only upon your graduation, but upon your decision to enroll in courses in the College of Arts and Science. The college is home of what for centuries has been known as liberal education. It refines and nurtures vital skills and talents. We need creative thinkers. We need people who are comfortable with decisions in a wide context. We need people who can communicate, reason, create, write, and speak. In short, we need leaders, and liberal education nurtures leadership. I was intrigued by a recent article in which Thomas Herka asks why it is that on tests measuring aptitude for advanced professional study, whatever the field, whether law or business or other, the best results come from students in arts and science. Why is this so? One possible answer is that in a time of great change, an applied education will soon be dated. The education that emphasizes breadth, growth, and adaptability will be more useful. The study of admissions tests found that students do best who major in a field characterized by formal thought, structural relationships, abstract models, symbolic languages, and deductive reasoning. The more abstract the subject, the more it develops pure reasoning skills. And the stronger a person's reasoning skills, the better he or she will do in any applied field. Literacy. Mature literacy, the art of reflective inquiry communicated to one's fellow citizens, that's the single most important attribute of your education. And we need your wisdom. We need informed thinkers, citizens, and policymakers. And we need to nourish and celebrate the kind of education that contributes to their formation. The humanities and social sciences, the natural sciences, and the fine arts are at the core of this kind of education, And once again, I congratulate you for your success in this formative tradition of education. When I reflect on the many dimensions of university life, the most prominent image at this time of year is the one before me now. Row upon row of gowned students awaiting the symbolic transfer of your hoods from across your arms to around your heads and shoulders, and the rest of us on this stage and behind and above you in the audience of this great hall, bearing proud witness to the transfer. The symbolism is rich in meaning. On one side of the ledger are the opportunities that are available by virtue of your newly awarded degrees. And take it from me, 40 years after I sat where you sit now, the opportunities are many and wonderful. On the other side of the ledger is the responsibility associated with your success. It is not always explicit, it is not always acknowledged, but it is always present, and it boils down to this: the responsibility to use your degrees to serve others. But for today, we join you in celebrating your achievements to date. I know that your achievements represent thoughtfulness, determination, struggle, and a fair measure of anxiety. But you are here and you deserve to be. Warmest congratulations and very best wishes for the future. Thank you.
In just a few moments, I will formally petition the Chancellor to admit the students who are assembled here to their degrees and certificates. Then I will invite you, the graduands, to come forward. As you approach the podium, the Dean or Associate Dean of the college will present you by name. When your name is announced, you will cross to the center of the platform to stand facing the Chancellor while your hood is put over your shoulders. Once you've been hooded, you may shake the Chancellor's hand, and the Chancellor will then tell you that you have been admitted to the Convocation of the University of Saskatchewan. You'll then continue across the platform to be greeted by the President and to receive your parchment. As you go down the steps, you'll be welcomed as a new member of the University of Saskatchewan Alumni Association by a representative of the association. Eminent Chancellor, Mr. President, members of the University Senate and Board, I present to you the petition of the Council of this university that the candidates to be named, having fulfilled all the requirements of the bylaws, may, with your permission, be admitted to the degrees and certificates to which they are entitled.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the legislature of this province, and with the consent of the Council of this university, I consent to admit you to the degrees and certificates to which you are entitled, and to invest you with all the powers, rights, and privileges pertaining thereto.
Would the graduands in the front row please rise and come to the platform?
Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the Faculty of Arts and Science, I present to you these scholars from the College of Arts and Science and ask that you will confer on them the degree of Bachelor of Arts, 3-year. I present to you Jessica Lynn Anderson. Jeneline Amanda Antony. Joel Thomas Antimnuke. Derek Allen Beckler. Robert William Boklaschuk. Scott Michael Cassidy. Amber Lee Noel Clark. Allison Claire Dietrich with distinction. Ashley Leanne Dick Dopko. Jody Ellen Dumais. Kelly Ann Epp with distinction. Carly Alma Godwin with great distinction. Ashley Irene Dorothy Graham with distinction. Nolan Edwin Michael Herden. Dawn Noreen Kettler. Megan Chelsea Lorenz with great distinction. Jia Meng. Danielle Lynette Mills. Jenna Louise Milne. Rahel Mulugeta. Emily Beth Yumeko Nakamura with distinction. David Viet Nguyen. Jillian Janelle Novakovsky. Kyle Wayne Nowasad. Laura Victoria Padfield. Nicole Victoria Payne with distinction. Ji Peng. Christina Lynette Prestai. Laura Ryan. Ashley Ann Schwan. Nicole Carey Scott. Carmen Leslie Sharp. Catherine Brianne Shukin. Stacy Lee Sherdahl. Marietta May Trohack. Amanda Trudeau. Erin Louise Van de Kamp. Alicia Joan Wilson. James Soon Wong. Wei Wei Zhang. Please join me in congratulating the recipients of the degree of Bachelor of Arts 3-year. Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the Faculty of Arts and Science, I present to you these scholars from the College of Arts and Science and ask that you will confer on them the degree of Bachelor of Arts 4-year. I present to you Matthew Garrett Arsenault. Jennifer L. Bauer. Omosefe Bazue. Larissa Lee Carter. Jeffrey Robert DeYoung. Gordon Michael Derry. Carissa Jaylene Dickinson. David Jonathan Espeseth with distinction. Kelsey Froh. April Ann Gallet. Margot Ann Goff with great distinction. Charlotte Marie Greenshields. Mackenzie Gress. Shuai Han. Christopher Glenn Honig. Jonathan Aluko Jerome Keynes Douglas. Lars Thorsten Kettleson. Omer Ahmed Kayem. Lisa Karen Lafreniere. Michelle Danielle Lee. Say Kit Lowe. Nicole Tracy Zeng Zeng Mack with great distinction. Diamond Shell Ray Mays. David James Moreau. Melissa Irene Morley. Shalon Ray Murray. Carla Marie Peters. Kimberly Ann Rintu. Jason Sick. Brittany Lee Smith. Samantha Marie Stobbs. Tyler Jacob Tesh. Donovan Charles Thorambert. Gerson Orlana Urbina. Heather Ada Van E. with great distinction. Allison Rose Van Howie with distinction. Shenchong Wang. William Robert Magnus Weiler with great distinction. Terrace Nicole Wetter. Dustin Robert Wilford. Mary Dion Wilkinson. Ian Michael Williamson. Yang Yang. Justine Eva Zahara with great distinction. Please join me in congratulating the recipients of the degree of Bachelor of Arts for a year. Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the Faculty of Arts and Science, I present to you these scholars from the College of Arts and Science and ask that you will confer on them the degree of Bachelor of Arts Honours. I present to you Ellen Denise Aktimachuk, Vivian Marie Baycroft, with high honors. Carolyn Denise Bodner, with high honors. Caitlin Pola Brent, with high honors. Jessie May Campbell, with high honors. Shu Chen, with high honors. Chelsea Catherine Cox, with high honors. Chad Michael Kozar, with high honors. Melissa Janine Davidson. Annika Margaret Drinkwater. Chelsea Ray Edwards, with high honors. Matthew Allen Fawcett. Maria Furman. Michelle Ashley Friesen. Clara Elise Corinne Fullenveder, with high honors. David John Ryan Gamble. Justino Jacobo Garcea. Jillian Marie Gerlach. Brian Michael Andrew Gray. Nicole Margaret Tamar Green, with high honors. Philip Matthew Norman Hitchings, with high honors. Leah Danielle Horlick, with high honors. Kimberly Nicole Jakowski, with high honors. Allison Ray James Loth, with high honors. Anna Clara Essler Jensen with high honors. Casey Jean Keene with high honors. Anne Cecilia Kelly with high honors. Megan Joanna Kent. Hunwoo Kim with high honors. Sarah Jean King. Catherine Knorr with high honors. Lane Ian Cranach with high honors. Jared Michael Kylo with high honors. Vanessa Marie Landego. Jolena Savannah Leader with high honors. Wenjia Liu. Danae Catherine Lockhart with high honors. Samantha Marlana Mark. Jesse Gordon Robert May with high honors. Mitchell Dean McIver with high honors. Rebecca Beth Jean McLeod. Nozomi Murahoshi. Caitlin Jane Naherney with high honors. Stephen Presley. Whitney Marie Robson with high honors. Julie May Rogel. Julia Mary Schafel. with high honors. Logan Lawrence Spearing, with high honors. Nina Ray Thurlow. Kelsey Brianne Topola. Cindy Marilyn Trong. Jing Wei. Please join me in congratulating the recipients of the degree of Bachelor of Arts Honors.
Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the Faculty of Arts and Science, I present to you these scholars from the College of Arts and Science and ask that you will confer on them the degree of Bachelor of Science, 3-year. Erin Ashley Zdell. Eric Christopher Chan Tai Kong, great distinction. Lindsay Michelle Copeland, great distinction. Jenna Ella Theresa Dunn, great distinction. Caitlin Ann Elash, great distinction. Carrie Marie Gardner, great distinction. Jillian Catherine Gebauer, great distinction. Curtis Matthew Kozak. Amy Lynn Coolrick. Brendan Chad Kushnerek, great distinction. Matthew Scott Kushnerek, great distinction. Lorianne Joan Florence Lines, distinction. Mark Aaron Petuli, distinction. Janessa Dawn Schmidt, distinction. Robert Garth Sheard, great distinction. Tong Shen. Stephanie Olga Schwalik, great distinction. Chantal Lean Unger, great distinction. Megan Courtney van Buskirk. Ingrid Mary Worth, great distinction. Chad Alexander Waterspoon, with distinction. Please join me in congratulating the recipients of the degree of Bachelor of Science 3-year. Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the Faculty of Arts and Science, I present to you these scholars from the College of Arts and Science and ask that you will confer on them the degree of Bachelor of Science 4-year. Olibose Abe. Jennifer Lynn Avison. Jared Allen Boyko. Denise Jeanette Brewersma, great distinction. David William Mark Brown. Lacey Ray Burnett. Caitlin May Campbell. Maria Gabriela Campos, great distinction. Daniel Allen Perry Cedarwall. Zheng Dai. Cornelis de Jager, great distinction. Rashpreet Kaur Dhaliwal. Alana Renee Elash. Kyle Anthony Fisher. Casey Dawn Marie Frantic. David Paul Funk. Jeremy Albert Godet, distinction. Colin Mitchell Gooding. Lane Reese Hanson Gordon, distinction. Deepak Goyal. Dacre Robert Hamilton, great distinction. Henny. Rogan William Daniel Henny. Thank you. Branscombe? Yeah. Andrew David Branscombe Howland. Thank you. Hollowatch. Jason Christopher Hollowatch. Derek Thompson House. Junhua Wang. Brett Curtis Hunter. Maya Jakic. Brittany Shalane Johnson. Rashika Kalia. Ulas Kapoor, great distinction. Caitlin Lindsay Keys. Mark Andrew Killistoff. Brianne Lynn Cousin, great distinction. Rochelle LeBlanc. Amanda Marie Linnell, great distinction. Sean Allen Lintz, great distinction. Liang Liu. Jason Scott Lostel. James John Lozinski. Cynthia Laiwa Mak. And Marie. Julie Marie Meyer. Great distinction. Stacy Willa Mann, distinction. Amber Rose Marco. Marino. Danielle Ramiro Marino. Mark Timothy Mashenko. Nicholas Wood Nielsen, distinction. Christopher Robert Napoleon Nelgay. Natasha Priyanka Nundy, with great distinction. Kurt Dalen Otway. Kulapo Ibukun Oje, with distinction. Joan Marie Perriott. Eric Perlat, with distinction. Tyler Lou Faneuf, with great distinction. Corey Lyndon Popick. Lisa Michelle Sametz. Kristen Saxinger, great distinction. Whitney Rochelle Lynn Schiefner. J.C. Amy Ann Seaback. Kayla Janelle Sharp. Stephen Oliver Smith. Sean Devon Statham. Caitlin Zelda Sombathi. Dustin Martin Peter Unger, with distinction. Stephen Leslie Wiley. Carmen Colleen Yowsey. Alyssa Dawn Zadrill. Hao Ranju. Please join me in congratulating the recipients of the degree of Bachelor of Science 4-year. Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the Faculty of Arts and Science, I present to you these scholars from the College of Arts and Science and ask that you will confer on them the degree of Bachelor of Science Honours. Harmony Nosemi Alto, High Honours. Nicholas Morris Baniak, High Honours. Matthew Dale Bordas. Benjamin Samuel Brody. Sydney Christine Burns, High Honours. Christine Sonia Chang, High Honours. Cody Lee David, High Honours. Jennifer Ann Doig, High Honours. Matthew William Dunay. Adian Scott Dryden. Peter William Dust, High Honours. Erin Lindsay Exley. Jenna Ann Fingler, high honors. Anthony Lucas Fu, high honors. Amber Ray Grino, high honors. Heidi Marie Hasfjord, high honors. Amila Navratne Hendenia, high honors. Hennig. Jordan Alexander Hennig. Nicole Marie Hainan, high honors. Craig Brony Haperilo. Catherine Elizabeth Hutchinson. John Patrick Jesse, high honors. Okay. Ray Dawn Kime, high honors. Robert Brad LaPrairie, high honors. Robin Paul Love. Diane Kimberly Lusick, high honors. Kyle Alexander Looning, high honors. Kenton Ross Lysak. Kristen Danielle Marsnick, high honors. Chantel Irene Mitchelson. Charles André Mougeot, high honors. Amanda Louise Nalen, high honors. Kim Viet Nguyen, high honors. Melissa Ann Nizinkovich. Evan Kirk Nordquist, high honors. Darcy Darrell Pislovsky. Ellen Elizabeth Pearson, high honors. Lori Helen Penner. Brandon Joseph Preet, high honors. Christopher David Roberts, high honors. Lisa Nicole Rhymes, high honors. Andrew Nicholas Ephraim Salisbury, high honors. Lauren Carolyn Shave, high honors. Oliver Sterling Schneider, high honors. Brittany Joy Schrader. Kristen Lee Schrader, high honors. Matthew Charles Schwab. Catherine Amy Sim, high honors. Brittany Marie Smith. Jolene Lana Strain. Ryan Jackson Stubbins, high honors. Sadie Mae Swanson, high honors. Siseong Tai. Kaylee Danae Thorson. Sean Gregory Wall. Dane Michael Wickenhauser, high honors. Gray Ettridge Wilkinson. Brett Michael Wilson. Matthew Thomas Aloysius Wolfsfeld. High honors. Corey Hoopery Yu. High honors. Madison Tansy Urak. Jeff Zimmel. Please join me in congratulating the recipients of the degree of Bachelor of Science honors. Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the Faculty of Arts and Science, I present to you these scholars from the College of Arts and Science and ask that you will confer on them the degree of Bachelor of Fine Arts. Kristen Camille Brown. Todd Jeffrey Burton. Stephanie Marie Michelle Gauthier, with great distinction. Anna Lauren Gallagher, with distinction. Rochelle Dawn Hodgins, with distinction. Jason Shuki Kwok, with great distinction. Elizabeth Grace McCorkle, with distinction. Lindsay Kalinda Royale, with distinction. Corey Alex Nicholas Shuaga, with great distinction. Paul Danielle Siemens, with great distinction. Sheila Marie Firma, with distinction. Janice Maureen Weber, with great distinction. Please join me in congratulating the recipients of the degree of Bachelor of Fine Arts.
Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the faculty of the College of Graduate Studies and Research, I present to you these scholars from the College of Arts and Science and ask that you confer on them the degree of Master of Science. Tijo Molua Bamadile Abegunde. Xu Jianguan. Ling Ling Jin. Wengang Lu. Mangalagori Masarako. Glyn Allen McMillan. Jordan William Miller. Lawrence Christopher Nason. Jesse Lee Nielsen. Sarah Jean Piper. Erin Lorraine Shaw. Jessica Stoller. Nicole Bettina Wunderlich. Yu Zhang. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in congratulating the recipients of the degree of Master of Science in the College of Arts and Science. Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the faculty of the College of Graduate Studies and Research, I present to you these scholars from the College of Arts and Science and ask that you confer on them the degree of Master of Arts. Anastasia Christine Columbos. Jin Dee. Margaret Jean Gawley. Daniel John Hawkins. Megan Lindsay Steves. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in congratulating the recipients of the degree of Master of Arts in the College of Arts and Science.
Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the College of Graduate Studies and Research, I present to you these scholars and ask that you confer on them the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Hawaja Farhan Ali. Jonathan Edgar Bath. Sanda Maria Botis. Warren Douglas Helgeson. Indratmo. Emily Jane Morris. Miguel Angel Nacenta Sanchez. Dean Allen Shaw. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in congratulating the recipients of the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Graduate Studies and Research.
Eminent Chancellor, in the name of the faculties, I ask you to grant the degrees and certificates in absentia to those students who have met the requirements to graduate but were not able to be present today.
At the request of the faculties, I authorize these degrees and certificates to be granted.
Eminent Chancellor, I present to you the 2010 recipient of the Copeland Prize in the Humanities, as well as the 2010 recipient of the Haslam Medal, Nicole Tracy Jingjing Mack. The Haslam Medal is named in honor of the late Dr. R.N.H. Haslam, former Dean of the College of Arts and Science, and is awarded annually at Spring Convocation to the college's most distinguished graduates. The Copeland Prize in the Humanities is donated by Mrs. Copeland in memory of her husband, the late Thomas Copeland, and is awarded annually at Spring Convocation to the most distinguished graduate in the humanities. This year's recipient is Nicole Tracy Jingjing Mack, who graduates today with a Bachelor of Arts 4-year degree with great distinction with a major in French. Nicole received her elementary education at the Saskatoon French School. She studied in the French immersion and advanced placement programs at Holy Cross High School. Upon high school graduation, she received the Governor General's Academic Medal. Nicole's interests in the arts and sciences led her to pursue a comprehensive undergraduate education at the University of Saskatchewan. She is majoring in French as well as microbiology and immunology. She will complete her BSc four-year degree with a major in microbiology and immunology this summer. Nicole was named on the Dean's List in 2008 and 2009 and has received numerous awards for her academic achievements. Some of these include the University of Saskatchewan Chancellor Scholarship, the Dr. Valentine Guy Criswick Scholarship, the John Labatt Scholarship, and the University of Saskatchewan Scholarship, to name a few. Nicole's favorite pastime is playing the violin and piano, and she has earned 6 music diplomas in both piano and violin performance from 2 conservatories. She has competed in local, provincial, and national music competitions and won numerous awards and scholarships for her musical endeavors. One faculty member describes Nicole as an exceptional student who demonstrates remarkable intellectual capacity in the scientific, literary, and artistic fields. She is one of those rare students who can adapt to all kinds of disciplines under all sorts of circumstances. Ms. Mack's immediate goals are to complete her degree in microbiology and immunology by August, and she is upgrading her French degree to an honors degree this summer so that she can pursue graduate studies in French literature in the future. She is hoping to gain admission to a medical school. Her career goals are to become a physician and writer. Eminent Chancellor, I'm pleased to present Nicole Tracy Zhengjing Mack as this year's winner of the Haslam Medal and the Copeland Prize in the Humanities. Film. Oh, great. Okay. I'm pleased to announce the recipient of the University of Saskatchewan Film Society Prize, Chelsea Ray Edwards. The University of Saskatchewan Film Society Prize is awarded annually at Spring Convocation to the most distinguished graduate in a 4-year honors or BFA degree or certificate program in the fine arts, which includes art and art history, music, or drama. I'm very pleased to present this year's award to Chelsea Ray Edwards, who graduates today with a Bachelor of Arts double honors degree with high honors in art history and studio art. Chelsea grew up in Biggar and graduated from Biggar Composite High School. She began her post-secondary education at the University of Calgary after receiving an entrance scholarship, but transferred to the University of Saskatchewan in 2007 to continue her studies in art and art history. Chelsea was named to the Dean's List in 2008, and 2 of her paintings have been purchased by Kelly Block, Member of Parliament for Saskatoon Rosetown Biggar. During her time at the University of Saskatchewan, Chelsea has consistently maintained an excellent academic average, and the Department of Art and Art History describes Chelsea as a gifted student with strong and clear written communication skills and the ability to synthesize and discuss complex ideas and theories. In 2008, she enrolled in a unique study abroad course in Renaissance art. This course took Chelsea to Italy and the Netherlands, where she excelled as a keen and active participant in a course that included other students from around the world. She hopes to further her knowledge of architecture and space and has applied to graduate school to pursue a degree in landscape architecture. Eminent Chancellor, I'm pleased to present Chelsea Ray Edwards as this year's winner of the University of Saskatchewan Film Society Prize for the most distinguished graduate in the fine arts. I am pleased to present the recipient of the Earl of Bessborough Prize, Nicholas Morris Baniak. The Earl of Bessborough Prize in Science was donated by the Right Honourable the Earl of Bessborough to commemorate the name of his father, the former Governor-General of Canada. It is awarded annually at the Spring Convocation to the most distinguished graduate in the natural sciences. It is my pleasure to introduce Nicholas Morris Baniak as the 2010 winner of the Earl of Bessborough Prize in Science. Nicholas graduates today with a Bachelor of Science honors degree with high honors in physiology. Nicholas graduated from Clavitt Composite School. He began his first year in the College of Arts and Science in September 2006 and has excelled academically. Mr. Baniak was awarded the John Spencer Middleton and Jack Spencer Gordon Middleton Scholarship, University of Saskatchewan undergraduate scholarships, and has been named on the Dean's List after his first, second, and third years for his high academic achievement. Recently, he has been offered a Natural Science and Engineering Research Council summer grant and a Canadian Cystic Fibrosis Foundation summer grant. This summer, he will be conducting research on cystic fibrosis. He plans to enter medical school in the fall, if accepted. If not accepted, he has been admitted to graduate studies at the University of Saskatchewan, where he will begin his master's degree in physiology. Either way, he has indicated that being involved in research in some way will be part of his future, along with an MD degree. Eminent Chancellor, I'm pleased to present Nicholas Morris Baniak as the recipient of the Earl of Bessborough Prize in Science in the College of Arts and Science. I'm pleased to present the recipient of the 2010 Spring Convocation 3-year medal, Ingrid Marie Worth. The Spring Convocation 3-year degree medal is awarded to the most distinguished graduate receiving a degree in a 3-year program in the College of Arts and Science. It is my pleasure to present Ingrid Marie Worth as the 2010 recipient of this medal. Ingrid is graduating today with a Bachelor of Science 3-year degree with great distinction in physiology. Ingrid graduated from high school from Marion Graham Collegiate Institute in Saskatoon and received the highly prestigious Chancellor's Scholarship upon entering the University of Saskatchewan in 2007. In addition to the Chancellor's Scholarship, Ingrid has received numerous other honors and awards during her 3 years at the U of S. While this list is extensive, a sampling of these awards includes an NSERC Undergraduate Student Research Award, University of Saskatchewan Undergraduate Scholarships, and being named a member of the Golden Key International Honor Society. She is also very active in the community, both as a volunteer and through her musical abilities. She has volunteered for both the Saskatoon First Step Clinic and Saskatoon Cardio Rehab Clinic, and regularly performs on her saxophone at various public and private functions. Faculty in the Department of Physiology have described Ingrid as an excellent student who consistently exceeds expectations and shows considerable promise for a future career in medicine. In the coming years, Ingrid hopes to complete her Doctor of Medicine degree and eventually establish a practice that works to treat patients and conduct research in the areas of respirology, allergy, and asthma. Eminent Chancellor, I'm pleased to present Ingrid Marie Worth as the 2010 winner of the Spring Convocation 3-year medal.
I'm glad you stayed. The Governor General's Silver Medal is awarded each spring to the undergraduate student with the highest academic standing in the convocation. You've heard already of the extraordinary achievements of Ingrid Marie Worth. I would like to add that she has said that she would like to acknowledge some very special people who have made this Governor General's Silver Medal Award possible for her. She feels fortunate to have had a number of outstanding and inspiring professors during the past 3 years, and she conveys her thanks to them. She would like to acknowledge all of the people on campus who work so hard to make the University of Saskatchewan safe and accessible for herself and all students who wish to pursue their academic goals here. And she also thanks the members of her family for their unwavering support and understanding over the years and for teaching her about the love of learning. I am honored to present the Governor General's Silver Medal for Spring Convocation to 2010 to Ingrid Marie Worth.
Eminent Chancellor, Mr. President, platform participants, graduates, and guests. As President of the University of Saskatchewan Alumni Association, it is my pleasure to recognize the class of 2010 as graduates and welcome each of you to the University of Saskatchewan Alumni Association. I hope your time at the University of Saskatchewan was a memorable one, be it with the friends you've met, classes you've taken, or a university function. Right now, you may not be fully aware or understand what it means to be an alumnus, but today, as you receive your degree, your relationship with the university changes forever. You are now a member of the University of Saskatchewan Alumni Association. You have joined our alumni family, a family with a storied history of excellence, a family of well-accomplished and distinguished alumni. Your family includes a Canadian Prime Minister, Nobel Prize winners, award-winning authors and artists, groundbreaking researchers, successful business executives and entrepreneurs, accomplished athletes, and many, many more. Receive your degree with great pride in what you have accomplished and in the company you join. I also encourage you to look forward to what you will accomplish. Be open to the endless and exciting opportunities available to you. Build upon the connections you have created while a student and strive for even greater things. Continue to build the strong foundation that has shaped the U of S into the institution it is today. As you embark upon new endeavors, remember your alumni family is here to support you. Stay connected with the university by informing the Alumni Association of where you are and what you have done. The Alumni Association can provide a vital link between you and your university, whether it is providing support as you build your career, giving you access to the university services and facilities, or helping you sustain lifelong relationships. We are all here to celebrate your success. For each of you, how you define success may be different. It may be professional, such as getting a new job, or personal, such as traveling or completing another degree. Whatever your success is, I encourage you to stay in touch with the Alumni Association so we, as members, can continue to celebrate your success together. In closing, congratulations to the class of 2010, College of Arts and Science. Welcome to the alumni family. Welcome to the University of Saskatchewan Alumni Association.
This brings our convocation ceremony to a close, but before we do, I would like to thank a number of people. First, Glenn Gillis and the University Wind Orchestra. Our vocalist, Courtney Willick. Elder Walter Linklater. Our signer, Tanya Commission. And Danielle Kluche, Convocation Coordinator, and all the members of her team who make these ceremonies a success. I would remind graduates and their families of the meeting places which follow. Arts and Science, please meet in the main lobby. Graduate programs, meet in the Grand Circle lobby. Finally, to the graduates, enjoy today and your success. You have acquired an important key to your future, but your degree is not your only acquisition today. It combines with other important but less tangible benefits which have shaped you and contribute who you are in the future. For the rest of your life, you will retain a treasure of memories from your time at the University of Saskatchewan, of faculty who made a difference, of your fellow students, and experiences, some enriching, and if a few were dubious, you are probably learning from them as well. You are an alumnus of a proud and successful university. Take that legacy with you wherever you go. The University of Saskatchewan is the bond that unites us all because we have all been touched in one way or another by our experience as part of this university. Those who came before us established this bond. Now I ask you to help ensure that it remains strong in the future. Would you now rise and join in the singing of God Save the Queen?
God save our gracious Queen.